Huh? We're back on the original path.
Maybe you're supposed to try opening that door now.
I'm sure that from here on out, it's not just about when, but also how the culprit got in. Yuma, there's no need to push yourself if things get too hard.
No, I can do it. I'm going to solve it.
Okay. Here we are.
This is a map of the critical lab.
So we have to determine where the culprit was before the murder.
We'll have to solve them one at a time. Let's start with this mystery.
If we know where the culprit was before they got in, this route will be clear too. Do you know where, Yuma?
Alright, so it's gotta be like the hallway, right?
Here.
That's because it was like that's where the lock or the grate is, right?
Culprit must have been here.
It opened!
After the exchange on the intercom, given there was always a detective at the front chamber, when we went to borrow Amapal, the culprit had to have already made their way inside. But the airlock is the only location that isn't affected by the security system. There. The culprit had to be inside that decontamination device before committing the crime.
And the door is closed. Yeah, this door was closed, so they could get out and then run after.
But I
Once
thought he
the
was just hiding in there to
disabled.
avoid being spotted after the crime. So you think the culprit was in there before the crime too?
Yeah, the culprit was waiting for their chance. But we had no idea when we sent Amapel into the airlock.
And from there, Yuma, you guided Amapal to the doctor's lab. So the culprit entered the doctor's lab before then? How would that be possible? Only Amapal could get past security, right?
Yeah, that's the next big question.
Maybe the culprit used another Amapal unit.
No.
The researcher mentioned there was only one functioning Amapal.
Which means the Amapal Yuma controlled was the only one that could get past security.
So the culprit must have taken advantage of Master's Amapal to get into the doctor's lab.
Yeah, that's the only way. But how did they use it? There's no solving the doctor's murder until we figure that out.
Well, I have an idea. Will you hear me out?
What is it?
How about giving up? I'm getting tired.
Nope, motion denied.
Okay, sounds good.
Another fork in the road? Such a complicated mystery labyrinth.
The culprit used Amapal.
Beyond each problem lies the truth. We're definitely getting closer to the heart of this mystery.
I don't think. I want to go with neither immediately because as a shield, yes, but like in a sense, like more just like as a guide. That's my thought process. Because once Amapal figured out the tile path, you could just walk along it then too. I mean, it still makes sense as a shield. It's one of these two. I'll just go with neither right now, but I don't know. Okay. Looks like I was right. Hello, Emily. I'm sorry. She
Do you think neither
jingled her
is
little bell
either
right in front of the
right answer?
frickin' microphone. Hello, kitty.
In the process of elimination, that must be it.
Yeah.
Amapal's hands aren't designed to hold anything, so it couldn't use the knife to murder the doctor. Which means Amapal wasn't the murder weapon.
Yeah, that was the easiest
Culprit
one.
couldn't have used it as a shield.
Disprove.
It can't neutralize the toxic gas, and the high voltage shock would destroy it.
So then, how did the culprit use Amapal?
I think we'll find out if we continue down this path.
That was the wrong answer! Come on, Master!
Ow!
Huh? We're...
We've been here before. It looks like we've been brought back.
Yes.
The door we opened earlier is closed again. Why's that?
We got stuck at another crossroad, I
wonder
guess.
why.
Huh? Even the question is the same. Does that mean we gotta do it all over again?
Well, the logic is still sound. There's no other hiding spot for the culprit besides the airlock.
Yeah.
So you want to choose the same answer and keep going?
If you do, you'll just repeat the whole process again. We'll just be brought back here if we can't figure out how did the culprit use Amapal.
We have to have a definitive answer as opposed to just saying
walk any more than I have to.
neither.
Hey, don't sit down!
What should I do?
Stand up! Stand up right now!
Stop it. Leave me alone.
If you want me to leave you alone, then help my useless master out!
Fine. Just one thing then. We're back at where was the culprit before the crime? Because you're stuck at how did the culprit use Amapal? With that in mind, these two questions are connected.
Connected? Both the culprit's location and how Amapal was used?
Help him out more! More, more, more!
The culprit was hiding in the airlock, where you also left the robot, right? At that moment, only the culprit and Amapal were there. So maybe the culprit did something.
The culprit did something to Amapal?
Clues are always there, right under your nose. It's a detective's job to notice them. Did you notice anything strange back then? Any tiny detail? Try to
I
remember.
cannot remember.
Something strange.
Sure, the game will tell me, but I
Hey,
genuinely don't
Now
remember.
that you mention it, back then.
Oh, hey, the screen lit up. So this is what Amapal sees. It's like the cockpit of a mecha.
Whoa, what was that?
Did it break already? I thought it was state of the art.
No, it's all right. It's stabilized. There was a moment when the camera stopped functioning while I was controlling Amapal.
What would that mean?
It
That's
returned to normal pretty quick, but maybe...
See? I told you it was right under your nose. You don't need any additional help from me, right?
That was a clue to help solve this mystery?
Actually, everything in this world is a key to solving mysteries. You just haven't noticed them. Perhaps there is more you're overlooking. Was there anything else unusual?
Something unusual. Something I missed.
Anything else? It's not like Amapal's camera showed the culprit.
Wait, that's it!
Huh?
Now that I think about it, wasn't that strange? The culprit must have gotten ahead of Amapal, but why didn't they ever show up on the camera? If the
Cameron
culprit went past
heard
Amapal
of
to
it?
enter the doctor's lab, they would have been spotted for sure.
Now that you mention it.
But nobody showed up on camera.
Just yes. Okay. Everything directly in there. I
The
just
culprit managed to pull that off. How can you move from the airlock to the doctor's lab without appearing even once on Amapal's camera?
They'd be on top of the Amapal.
Just adding another mystery.
My guess, like I think they're like literally riding the Amapal.
All the pieces are here.
Hence the shoe print. Maybe the kick over was supposed to. I don't know.
The mysteries you face
Like that
now
was like the camera shaking. Maybe was
with a
them like
single answer.
hopped on top of it and just kind of like screwed with the head.
Sheesh. I talk too much.
Obviously, withstand an elephant to step on there. Said that, so.
One mystery after another.
And obviously they came from like above, so they.
Let's stay calm and think about it. There's plenty of time.
And they didn't have to worry about the.
Or not. I'll keep reading while you wrap things up.
Remember what he said, Master. All it takes is one answer to solve these mysteries. Use those weak brain cells of yours and think!
Culprit's location. Amapal's usage. Its malfunction. Why didn't the culprit appear on camera? All this can be solved with just one answer?
Shit, not. God dang it! One of every single time it's because I tap the joystick and then it's that's a button press. No, it was not a button press. Love that. All right, it's A again. But yeah. It's transportation. There's a culprit jump on it. It's they're on top of the head.
I got it! The culprit rode on Amapal's head, using it as a method of transportation.
The door opened!
With every open door, it will be harder for you to turn back. Are you sure you want to keep going?
Absolutely! I will find the truth no matter what. This is for the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Is that bombastic side-eye video?
Hey, you said the culprit rode on top of Amapal. What did you mean by that?
Literally what I said. The culprit rode Amapal and used it to get through. After we left Amapal in the airlock, the culprit came out of the decontamination device. Then they jumped on Amapal's head. The disruption in the footage was from the impact.
That's insane.
Is it? I think it's fairly reasonable. Amapal can withstand up to 100 kilograms of weight. So, someone riding on it shouldn't affect its functionality.
The shoe print on Amapal's head wasn't caused by someone kicking it. It was left there from the culprit hopping on and off.
After that, the culprit simply rode on it as it moved toward the doctor's lab. By doing so, the culprit was able to evade the camera and remain hidden as they made their way through the lab.
You're right. If it's true, then it does solve all of the previous mysteries. Imagining the culprit riding on a robot makes me laugh.
But Yuma, have Have you not realized it? You're still missing something. One major mystery remains.
That was really weird they showed up there, but alright.
What's with that huge sigh?
The greatest mystery of this case should appear soon. Just the thought of
What,
it
the
gets
culprit,
me
or-
going down.
This case is.
Or the
closed
why,
on
maybe?
mystery?
I don't know. But sure, we'll find out.
This is the panel chamber.
That means the doctor's lab is just beyond it. If we can get through here, we'll reach the goal, yeah? Is this the greatest mystery you mentioned?
Not exactly what I was envisioning.
Well, this is the mystery to be solved, so let's clear it out.
Beats me.
Or during the panel puzzle, because you could have easily turned around, saw it, all that
The culprit
shit.
murdered
So
the doctor before Amapel entered the room. Which means
Yeah.
the culprit had to have gotten ahead of Amapel at some point.
And they
It was
can't
when
turn
the
their
door
head.
First opened. At that moment, the culprit snuck into the doctor's room.
Yeah, when the doors were slowly opening, just like this. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Right. The moment there was enough space for a person to slip through, the culprit hopped off and went inside.
Like this? We still haven't reached the goal. I thought we could get into the doc's lab now.
Is this a joke to you? Your deduction is full of holes. If this is a joke, it's not very funny.
Master, you know what to do.
Of course.
I'll take your garbage deduction and toss it in the trash. I am the saint of Kanai Ward, protecting it from filth like you! The culprit hopped off Amapal as the door opened,
no,
then
poopy.
slipped through the gap in the door.
I could just do this.
That's impossible, even for Fink the Slaughter Artist! Think about it.
Think about it, Marley.
If Amapal's line of sight changed just a bit,
Oh, here.
the camera would have caught it. No one would do something so risky.
Yeah, but they might know about it then.
The crime would have been exposed. The culprit must be really lucky.
Makoto?
What, did they use some sort of special power?
Right.
No.
For now.
Yeah.
The culprit hopped off
Okay.
Amapal as the door opened, then slipped through the gap in the door. That's impossible, even for Fink the Slaughter Artist. Think about it. If Amapal's line of sight changed just a bit,
I'll slash through this
Okay.
mystery. Amapel is designed so that when its hand is stretched out, it won't execute any other inputs.
Yeah,
That's
like a
why when it
safety
was pressing
function.
The button for the door, the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
you little maggots. Don't get so full of yourselves. You're not getting out of here alive.
That's rude.
I get it. So Amapal couldn't move while the door was opening. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Since the door opens outward, it's possible to take advantage of the blind spot it creates. That's how the culprit managed to stay outside the camera's view as they entered the doctor's room.
So it's an elaborate murder that took advantage of Amapal's design, and even the direction the door opens. Whoever planned this must have really wanted the doctor dead. I guess you can call it an obsession. How scary. Just like this passageway. Where will it take us? Perhaps a suite with the culprit's obsession on full display? A room of nightmares?
Knock it off with the weird soliloquies. Let's go.
You're really going?
Huh?
Again? What's with this thing?
Hey, Yuma. When the culprit entered the doctor's room while the door was open,
Huh? Yeah?
at the time, the doctor was in the room, right?
Had to be, right?
If the door opened and an intruder entered,
Oh, well, yeah.
how could the doctor not have noticed?
So what if he did notice? It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is.
You would have probably screaming, maybe?
Noticed an intruder, the doctor would have turned to face him. Which means he wouldn't have been
Oh, that
stabbed
too.
in the back.
Not necessarily, but I
That
get
piece
the,
of trash is right.
get the
Your
logic, I
is
guess.
flawed.
Hey, what are you, on the Phantom side now?
Listen to my incredible words of wisdom. Your crappy deduction is worth less than shit! Everything you do is a fucking mistake! Damn it!
One of these just repels, so got it. Okay.
Your deduction is inconsistent.
Okay.
It's full of inconsistencies. By your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
That claim doesn't hold up! No, the culprit did stab the doctor in the back. That's how the body was discovered.
That's why I'm saying your deduction is inconsistent. By your logic, the doctor couldn't have been murdered in that way!
Alright.
The culprit quickly entered the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder. Running is noisy.
Oh, I guess probably the wrong one.
Say,
Yeah, I know what they wanted. They're
The
wanting. I
culprit
knew it.
quickly entered the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder. Running is noisy. So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the
Yeah, there
culprit.
we go. What?
And And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back.
The herd isn't a thing? What?
Say,
That's right.
The culprit. Quickly enter the
Okay.
lab.
I guess I'll wait. Maybe they're just
But the
omitting.
doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way he missed an intruder. Running is noisy. So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back. Unless you think the doctor was asleep. Is there any trace of him being drugged?
No drug.
Even if he didn't look back from his desk,
Okay.
he would have heard someone coming.
There we go.
This is the truth.
Well, they really made me wait for that. Yikes. Alright. Fine.
Wait, the doctor had trouble hearing. That's why he didn't know.
In trouble hearing. Yeah, a little bit. He's deaf, my guy.
Now you're spouting nonsense.
Make it sound like he's just like, hard of hearing a little bit. Have a hearing aid in.
Save you. There's a gaping hole in your logic, and there's no way you're gonna fill it at this rate. Because you, more than anyone else, you're the one refusing to see the truth right before your eyes.
What? I refuse to see the truth? Vivius said the same thing, but...
It's strange, don't you think? Isn't it about time you noticed that something's off here?
Huh?
You've solved many mysteries up to now, yet none of them are directly connected to the culprit's identity.
that's because
Sure,
the
that doesn't mean
culprit
anything,
is
huh?
the hitman.
If that's the case, why haven't you reaped the hitman's soul? And that would end the labyrinth.
It's not that easy. The culprit will fight back, unless we solve all the mysteries first. Hang on. What are you getting at?
In my eyes, the reason a single mystery hasn't been directly connected to the culprit is because of Yuma's reluctance. It's pushing away the mysteries that lead to the culprit.
Huh?
Subconsciously, you're closing your eyes to the truth. That's why you haven't touched on the hole in your reasoning.
What hole?
Whatever, that's enough. Just ignore this guy and keep going.
Hey!
Yuma.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it. I'm off the game.
Jeez, go away!
Figure it out.
You know what I'm
Spell it
talking
out.
about, don't you?
The only one that
You
made sense
told
before
this
the investigation, or at the end, before the end of it,
What
like
are you...
even before all this stuff,
Just
it's just
ignore him.
Let's review your deduction, shall we? The culprit took advantage of Amapau's locked position and entered the lab. And before the robot entered the room, that person stabbed the doctor from behind. However, they bumped into Amapau while escaping, causing it to fall over.
Yep.
That was obviously a mistake, but since it wasn't captured on video, they were able to avoid detection. After that, the culprit went inside the decontamination device in the airlock to hide from you.
That's correct. So what's the hole in my deduction?
It's before all of that. It remains the case's greatest mystery.
Which is?
but who wants
How
Wesker dead?
did the
Oh.
culprit get past security?
What?
We all already told you that. The culprit rode on top of Amapal as Master controlled it and was taken all the way to the
Hold up.
doctor's lab.
But
No.
if someone was riding on it, how did they get past the high voltage shocks in the panel chamber?
It's because they knew about Fubuki's. That's why. That's why I think that's the only way I can figure out who it is. I think.
This is the end for you.
Lyra was a
nowhere
suspect
left to
sound,
go.
but they knew Fubuki might have been there and was able to
I
move
won't let
past.
you maggots ruin the peace of Kanai Ward. As the king of Amaterasu Corporation and the
Obviously,
guardian
normal
of
people
Kanai
wouldn't
Ward,
get that.
I will stop you here
Not just a
and
random
now.
hitman for sure.
Perhaps this too is an obsession. Why does he insist on covering up the truth?
Very true. That does make it
Tell me,
concerned with who I think it is
What
as
will
well.
you do, Yuma?
Why?
Are you going to stay willfully blind?
No, I'll fight.
The only.
Subconscious or not, I won't look away from the truth. I'll find the truth no matter what. This is for the Chief and everyone at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Good luck. You'll never find it. You'll scurry around this labyrinth forever, like blind mice. You'll rot away in here, looking for an answer that will never come.
It could have been they overheard at some point, but no, that's way too risky. It's kind of the whole plot hole, I guess. I mean, it's possible, yes, at that point, but
Keep
yeah.
playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery. How did the culprit get past the security?
Yeah, obviously the only way they do
The
it,
system was always live.
correct.
There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit.
Yes.
Security system? No living human can breach it.
I'll slash through this mystery.
With trial and error, we did, technically. So we would have been fucked if we couldn't turn back time, because then the Amapal would have been broken. And the shocks were enough to fry it once. Completely.
A human could get past the panel chamber by using Fubuki's forte. In fact, that's how we got past the panels. The high voltage shocks kept destroying Amapal. But we reversed time.
And they
every
wouldn't
time
even.
that
They
happened.
would.
Correct. So
Yeah.
whenever it was struck by the current, you went back in time.
Meaning that they were still alive, too.
While that was occurring, the culprit, the human, was riding on top of Amapal. That person was burnt to a crisp every time you failed.
But
Yeah, but Fubuki
Which
reversed it.
means you killed the culprit over and over again.
Vivia,
If only you had chosen to remain ignorant, I would have walked beside you in silence. But if you intend to seek the truth, then I must stand in your way.
what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
He's going to betray you, Master.
Betray me?
It's up to you, Yuma. This is your final chance to save the world you believe in. What are you going to do? It's time to decide your past and your future.
Why, Vivia?
Okay.
Let me ask you.
Well, hold on. Let me boom ba-dum. Actually, never mind. Yeah, I thought about the head thing a while ago, but then I'm like, well, no, that doesn't make sense because of toxic gas. Son of a bitch, actually. I don't know. Alright, hold on. This is... I mean, I guess it could be that the killer's already dead, but let's... Ghost form traits as heard from Vivia. There are several... Oh, I guess that's probably just shortening it. Look, alright, this is the biggest hole right now, this toxic thing now. I've kind of been forgetting about it stupidly. Yes, and that's...
It's impossible to avoid the gas.
Oh wait, hold on. There's more on here? God, I don't... So, clearing it out, it is not spectral projection, because then we would... The whole Amapal thing would fall apart. Obviously, then we also couldn't go in and stab him, you know? My thought process here is that they didn't bypass the toxic gas. Maybe they did with a spacesuit. I doubt it. This kind of seems a little silly in a sense, but I think that they didn't, and they were subject to die anyways. But I think it's... No, that doesn't fucking right, because then... Well... Fuck me, dude. Alright.
The culprit would surely die.
Yes, and it was like, well, it's been about an hour since now, so no, then they would be...
You know this, right?
Well, they had to have a suit then, right?
Gas is a special trait.
Yes. No gas mask. It basically have to have like a...
Gas can see through even a gas mask.
Okay, I figured I'd try it. I should have let the whole conversation probably run through. Yeah.
Let me ask you.
Because if it was like, let's say, you know, this happened like, you know, we went to the Mystery Labyrinth like 15 minutes after, then it's like very likely that they'd still be alive.
The culprit would surely die. You should already know this, right? The gas is a special trait.
Maybe the surely die thing? I'll wait. There might be one at the end here.
The gas can see through even a gas mask.
Yes.
No ability can nullify its toxicity.
Okay, once again, this getting hung up on the spacesuit comments. I mean, technically, but fuck it. All right.
Let me ask you.
Where's the pass for?
How did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber? It's
Oh,
impossible
shoot.
to avoid the gas.
That's fine.
The culprit would surely die. You should already know this, right? The gas is a special trait. The gas can see through even a gas mask.
No ability can nullify its toxicity.
Yes.
Once it hits you, you're done for.
Well, not necessarily. Yeah,
Die
technically.
for reaching Weska.
No, that's the
No one could get past the gas chamber.
fuck. Yeah, it was the last one. Okay.
Right.
But
'Cause it's not guaranteed to instantly kill you.
How did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber? It's impossible to avoid the gas. The culprit would
That
surely
is
die.
weird, but like there'd be. God.
This, right? The gas is a special trait. The gas can see through even a gas mask.
No ability to nullify its toxicity.
Once it
Hits you, you're done for. You die before reaching Weska.
no one can get
This is the truth.
Well, I don't know, my logic here is, or I don't know. There's still holes I don't get because obviously it's not yeah, every time I have a possibility, maybe I don't think so. I'm still pretty sure I know who it is. I just maybe we're still trying to figure out the if and or
through
but.
the toxic gas, you'll die. But you'll have 30 minutes before it kills you. Which
Right.
means you could survive.
Yes. So an hour ago. So yes, and this was right at the end. So most likely it's been about an hour. So that means the person would be dead by now
For 30 minutes.
if they did just simply breathe in the
Don't
gas.
tell me.
Sounds like that might have
No
been.
gas masks here that can block this toxic gas. And no fortes that can nullify it.
Yeah, and they're not sound like there'd be a
There's only
spacesuit.
one way you could get through it. You do nothing. You endure it in hopes of Amapel taking you to the next room.
Then the culprit didn't do anything to counteract it and just passed through the toxic gas?
It's the only explanation that makes sense. This is the truth.
Well, how does that work for the mystery labyrinth? Because if the
Can't believe it.
well, then it's got to be somebody else. Because there's
If the culprit really did just endure the toxic gas,
they should be long dead.
And they...
the culprit is...
It appears you finally glimpsed the truth. Yuma. Well, how does it feel to have your world shatter before your eyes?
Here's why this is shattering in a
Isn't
sense, but
this what you wanted?
okay. Hold on.
What's he talking about?
Yomi's mystery phantom and Fifia are both right.
I guess in the sense of like, what are you fighting for?
I didn't want to know the truth.
Huh?
Up until now, the Mystery Labyrinth was withholding the mysteries that led to the culprit. And that's because it's a reflection of my own reluctance.
Master, what's wrong? Do you know who the culprit is? It's the hitman, right?
The truth is worthless. Nothing has less value in this isolated, rainy city. No one wants the truth. Not even you! Now, rot away and die right here! No one will get in my way. Kanai Lord, Amaterasu! They both belong to me!
Okay.
If the culprit carried out the crime like you deduced, then they should be dead from the toxic gas.
Yeah.
But no one at the scene has died from poison.
No.
If you can understand that much, then what are you still doing here?
You're right that no one in that lab died from that toxic gas. But that was part of the culprit's plan from the beginning. They planned to distort the facts of their death.
Yuma, are you sure you want to face the truth? Your world will fall apart. The world that you believed in.
Your deduction is wrong. Don't disturb the peace.
I just don't know what he's gonna gain from this. Yomi is, besides just like the most convenient way
Is this
to
the best
frame
you can
somebody
do
in
to
it. I
refute
mean, alright, sorry about that. The footage actually cut because I ran out of disk space while in the middle of recording, so that was lovely. Hopefully there won't be too much of a jut here, but I just paused it and we'll kind of continue on here. Good start.
With this, I'll expose the truth! culprit misrepresented their death by using the Hitman. The culprit realized their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab died from toxic gas. So they used the Hitman to cover up their own death.
Used the Hitman?
Meaning, the Hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor.
No, I was hired
They
to
were
kill them.
hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Huh? The Hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor? But the doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the Hitman?
All you would need is a similar knife. The story of Fink the slaughter artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
Nah, we'll leave it alone until we receive further orders. Did you see the knife stuck in his back? It's the one that Fink the slaughter artist uses, right? I've heard about his knives inscribed with the letter F.
So, it was all a ruse? The real culprit made it look like the Hitman did it?
Stop. Stop! You useless garbage! To hell with detectives and the truth! I won't let you have your way in my city! There is no real culprit! Dr. Wesker was killed by the Hitman!
Huh? What's going on? Who's the real culprit?
The real culprit. The real culprit is...
The time has finally come, Yuma. It's time for you to acknowledge what you've known all along. If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos of the real world. Knowing this, will you still expose the truth? Then, show me your conviction.
the clues pointing to the identity of the Hitman's target. I know. I've known all along.
Now, expose the truth. Do it, if you want to burn the world down.
The bloodstained photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman. That was the Hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case. The blood obscured the person's face, but I know who it is. It could only be one person. It could only be...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the Hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No. Stop! Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't understand, but... Good luck, Master! I'm always by your side, haunting you!
Damn it!
head here?
Chief Yako was the only person attacked by the hitman in the lab. In other words, the Chief was the hitman's target. But Chief Yako tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yako himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target, and the Chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit? Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder? He's knocking on death's door just for this?
I don't want to believe it either, but there's no other way.
Don't forget this stuff!
The phantom vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do. While the Chief takes his final breaths.
Vivia.
Yuma. If Chief Yako is the culprit, then what about that death threat? Why would the Chief send it? If he was the killer? Answer me, Yuma.
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger, which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab because of that note. Chief Yako brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
The note was sent to the peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene. The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the peacekeepers also received the death threat.
Hey, you still want to do this? It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do. I can't leave the Chief like this.
Vivia.
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as peacekeepers and entered the lab. You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the chief, right?
Yes, but we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the Peacekeepers will see us. I knew it. This place is crawling with them.
What do we do?
I'll draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But why?
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him. We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yako had it all planned out from the start. He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
So, Master using Amapal and the Sheltered Skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us. He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Trust? How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all! He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their Fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder! Out of all the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all! Master, grab that coward and...
Enough!
Why did it have to come to this? Chief Yago saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything, even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times, but still, I really admired him. So, why? Why did you do it? Is this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me, or
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead. Master, watch out!
The phantoms are a reflection of the same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the same thoughts. The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding. But that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found, so he hid it behind the potted plant. He left his blood on it, almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, it was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the mystery labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
Eliminate? The chief?
Are you really going to do this? After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die. But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking on death's door. Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories, or anyone to turn to. I trusted him from the bottom of my heart. Now, I have to end his life?
You know, I liked it, surprisingly. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
I had a hunch. Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time. But I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the chief's soul called out to us?
Huh?
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
And trust what?
You signed a pact with the Death God in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too, want to live with my head held high. Because I, too, am a detective.
Vivia.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I understand, Chief Yako. Thank you for everything you've done for me.